Hi, my kindergartners, it's Mrs. Kearney. I miss seeing you all. I wanted to do this quick video to work on a story and keep some of the skills we've been working on together going. I know it's kind of funny times being home so much, and it might be nice for your moms and dads to have a little break if you can watch a video too. So I have helpers with me today. My kiddos are going to help me. This could go either way. This is my daughter Colleen and my son Timmy.
Hi.
And my daughter Maggie. And my oldest daughter, Molly, is videotaping for me. So we are gonna do the book. Actually, I know when we finished up the last time we saw each other, we were talking about wrapping up winter. And you know how Mrs. Kearney feels about winter. I don't like snow, it makes me cry. But spring is on its way, and that's making me happy. So we're gonna do a book today called When Spring Comes. And the author of the story is Kevin Hanks, and the illustrator is Laura Dronzik. Before spring comes, the trees look like black sticks against the sky. But if you wait, spring will bring leaves and blossoms. If you wait, spring will make the leftover mounds of snow smaller and smaller and smaller until suddenly they're gone. I don't know if you guys remember, I showed you, most of you, a picture that we all made a snowman the week before school, before we were in school, and it's gone. The warm weather came and it melted, and it's all gone, guys, isn't it? So in the springtime, when that sun gets warmer, snowmen melt away. Before spring comes, the grass is brown. But if you wait, spring will turn it green and add little flowers. So this happens before spring in the winter. The grass is all brown and dead. And then after, when spring comes, everything's green and the flowers come out. If you wait, an egg will become a bird. See, here's the egg, and then it starts to crack, and then the bird hatches out. A seed will start growing. So here it comes, it's sprouting, it's coming up, and now it's a flower. That all happens in spring. Spring comes with sun, and it comes with rain, and more rain, and more rain. Do you like mud? Do you like mud puddles? Do you guys like? Yes, they've made a mud puddle in our backyard, and it's like their favorite activity right now. We have mud everywhere. I hope you like umbrellas. So here are some more spring things. Because it rains a lot and it's warmer, it rains and gets wet and lots of things get muddy, and these kids are out with their rain boots and raincoats and their umbrellas on so they can still be out in the rain. Before spring comes, the garden is just dirt and empty. But if you wait, spring will push green shoots through the dirt to fill up the garden. So this is what happens in the winter before spring comes. And then when spring comes, things start to sprout and grow. And spring will call out the pussy willows and new kittens too. See, this is all spring things. The flowers are growing, these little pussy willows grow, new kittens are born, and that's one of our favorite things in the springtime is lots of baby animals are born. So if you go by the pond, you might see baby ducks, ducklings. If you go by a farm, that's usually when the baby horses are born, and the cows and the pigs. It's fun to look for baby animals. That's one of our favorite things in the springtime. Spring can come quickly or slowly. Changes its mind a lot, but when spring is finally here to stay, you will know it. So here the daffodils start to come out. Ours have started to come out. Once in a while it still snows on them a little, but when spring is here to stay, there will be buds and bees and boots and bubbles. Can you see all the fun the kids are having out in the spring? And the snow's gone. There will be worms and wings and wind and wheels. The bikes are out. Someone's flying a kite. The baby kittens are out. I see butterflies and bumblebees and worms, and the robins are looking for the worms. Yep, Tim, you saw the dog. The dog's out, and the garden's starting to grow. You will feel it. You will smell it. You will hear it. So let's see, I think she's trying to touch that flower, and the boy is smelling the flowers. So she's feeling it, he's smelling it, and you can hear it. And I know one thing you can hear in the springtime.
Bumblebees.
The bumblebees, exactly. And the birds, lots of birds out in the springtime. When spring is finally here to stay, you might think you're done waiting, but you are not. Now you have to wait for summer. And I've talked about this with you guys at school. Summer's my favorite. So there was a book. So this is our book about springtime. And we know a lot about winter. We learned a lot about winter and what happens in the winter. And spring is coming and almost here. Actually, I think we had the first day of spring. So it's starting to get spring-ish outside. So what I would love you guys to do is brainstorm with mom or dad or your brothers or sisters or grandmas or grandpas and see what you know about spring. We did a little bit of a brainstorm about some things we learned about spring. About some things we learned about spring. Bumblebees and kites, butterflies, pussy willows, bubbles, birds, umbrellas, bunnies, worms, rain boots, flowers growing, and seeds. Those are all things we learned in the book that we know about spring. So what I would love you guys to do when this is over is maybe go draw a picture of things you learned about spring from this book, or other things that you know about spring from your own houses, or things you guys do in spring. So that's a great way to try to remember it. What?
You said white?
Right, yeah, to draw. Draw some pictures of what they know about springtime. We learned we learned these things in the book, and there's some that you might know too. And then I would love you, this is a fancy paper I wish I could give to you, but this is a picture that shows when spring comes, before spring, and if you wait, what happens when spring comes. So here's one here. Sneak back over that way, Betty. So before spring, our snowmen are up, right? It's still cold and there may still be snow out, so our snowman's there. But if you wait, that snowman will melt away and the grass will turn green. So that's what you guys could do too, is draw something that's in the winter that we learned in the book, and then what happens if you wait. So remember, a good way to do this, we have to take a look in the book, okay? So let's see.
Stop!
Maggie, can you sit down, babe? So Maggie, what did the trees look like?
No!
What did the trees look like before spring? Were there any leaves on them?
No.
Nope. There are not. It said the trees look like black sticks against the sky. But if you wait, the trees get buds and flowers and leaves on them, right? So that's...
I'll come with that.
Not right now. Can you sit down for a minute? So that's one thing you could draw. You could draw the
Stop!
winter trees and then the spring trees. Another thing we saw, we'll see if we take a look in the book, is the grass in the winter. Before spring comes, it's brown and dead, but if you wait, it turns green and flowers grow. So that's something else you could draw. Like I showed you on this one, something that happens, how can I do this? Something that happens before, and then something that happens after if you wait. We'll show one more example of this.
And like dried and hard up grass, and the mouse and the nice and comfy squishy grass.
Or you could draw the garden. So here's the garden. There's nothing in it. It's just dirt. That happens before spring, but if you wait, after that, the garden starts to sprout and grow the flowers and vegetables. So those are two things you guys can do. Take a paper and draw all the things you learned about spring, and then take another one and on one half do what it's like before spring, so that will be winter, and then what happens if you wait when it's spring. I also want to do, you guys are getting good at categories and knowing what goes in what category. You guys, I'm going to have you help me them all. If you move over there, I'll have them come up to here. Okay? So our two categories, I'll have down for 1 minute, you can come up first. So what we're going to do here is put things that are winter, the things that happen before spring in the winter, and then the spring things we learned about. Can you just leave her alone? Just leave her alone, it'll be much easier. If you can't sit without yelling, you can go out with Daddy, okay? All right. So let's see. Tim, you can come up first. All right. Let me show this one. So this one is the grass when it's still brown and dead. When does that happen, Betty? Does that happen in the winter or does that happen in the spring?
Winter.
All right, so you can stick it on this side under winter. We may run out of space quickly. Maggie, are you next?
Yeah.
You're not going to yell, right? That would be wonderful. All right, Maggie. This one, the grass turns green and the flowers are growing. Is that winter? Tim, I'm just going to scoot this. Let's put them way over because our easel's going to run out of room very quickly.
Mom,
Sorry, bud. So then this one is, so what happens here? Is this something that happens in the winter when it's snowy or in the spring?
In the winter.
Oh, good try. Not in the winter. Here's the winter grass and here's the spring grass. It turns green and flowers grow. Can you put that over on spring? Good job, babe.
Can we go out now?
Well, I was going to give you another turn, but if you want to go out, you can go out.
Okay, I'll go out.
Okay.
I'm gonna go stay here.
Okay, can you sit so I can let them take some turns too? Thanks, ma'am. All right, Colleen, you can pick which one you want to do.
We'll do this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
go
this
out right now.
picture shows the buds and bees and boots and bubbles. The grass is green. That's a hint, Colleen. Do you think that's something that happens in the winter or in the spring? You got it. So that's a spring thing. We're gonna run out of room really fast.
Maybe we could like overlap it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we'll overlap on top of that one. You overlapped a good on there. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, come on up. You can choose. Yep. Okay, so this one is. If you're gonna do it, pick that one first. So this one shows the garden with just dirt in it. Nothing's growing. Buddy, does that happen in the winter before spring, or does that happen in the springtime?
Before spring.
In the
Winter.
In the winter, you got it. That's another winter thing. Overlap it a little bit. We're gonna have less winter things, but good job, Betty. All right, Colleen, come one at a time. All right, now we have the garden, but this time there's a bunny in it, and and things are starting to sprout and grow. What's that one, Colleen? Spring or winter?
Spring.
Spring. Good job. All right, Tim.
Mom, overlap them like this.
Perfect. Yeah.
You want me to go see why she's yelling?
Okay. All right, Timmy picked the cat with the butterflies and the pussy willows and the flowers are growing and the grass is green. What do you think, Betty?
Spring.
Spring? It's another spring thing. You got it. All right, Colleen, I'm going to give you the trees. I'm trying to do it in the thing. This one shows the trees are bare, right? Nothing on it. They said it just looks like sticks against the sky. What is that one? Winter or spring? Okay. Good job. That's winter. Yeah, they're going together a little. All right. And now we have the same tree, but it has trees and buds and flowers. What do you think that one is?
Spring.
Yep. So that's a spring thing. That's what the trees look like in the springtime. Then we have a bird hatching. When do the birds hatch, Colleen? In the winter or the spring?
Spring.
Spring. Yep, good job. The birds hatch. Baby birds come out in the spring. All right, Tim, this one shows a flower growing. A flower sprouting and growing. Is that winter or spring?
Spring.
Yep, that's a spring thing. Flowers growing. And this is kind of the same one, Colleen, but these are daffodils. No, these are daffodils. These are the first flowers that grow, that start growing. So is this spring or winter? Spring? Good job. So those are our different spring things. And here, how about I put that guy there and you put that one there. Good job.
Wait, I'm gonna do
You guys got it. So we've got things that are winter things in the winter category and spring things in the spring category. So in the winter we have the grass is brown and dead. The garden is just dirt. It doesn't have anything growing in it. And this one and the trees, there are no leaves on it. They're bare and they just look like sticks. And then in the springtime, we have, you can see how green it is. Everything's green. The grass is growing. Flowers are growing. Bumblebees are out. Kids are outside playing, blowing bubbles. There's baby animals. Birds are hatching. Again, this one, the flowers growing, baby animals, the pussy willows and butterflies. Those are all spring things. So hopefully that's coming. That's it for now, you guys. I'm going to do another one, and we usually do the same story a few times. We're going to do the same story and see what things you remember from it, and do a little bit of sequencing next time with the seasons, and we might even try to do a little bit of direction following. So hi again to everyone. I hope you're doing okay at home. I hope you're having fun being home. We definitely miss seeing you guys, and I will hope to do another one so I can say hi again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. You guys say bye?
Bye.